Good morning, all of you. Good morning, madam. Let us start.
Okay, good morning, sir. Good morning, my dear students. A very good morning to everyone. Today we are going to learn the subject history. In that we are doing the revision part. Subject history, and the topic name is the Indian subcontinent and the history. In this lesson, we are going to see the points that are geographical condition and the course of history. The second one, geographical features of India, and the last, the Indian subcontinent. Okay, now we all know that history is a coherent account of the significant past events in the progress of human culture. Time, place, society, and individuals are the four major pillars of history. So, what is important in history? Time, place, society, and individuals are the four main pillars of history. So, we cannot write history without them. Of these four components, place is related to the geography or geographical condition. Okay, the place, whatever place we are seeing, it is related to the geographical condition. What comes in geographical condition? The climate, the weather. What is the climate there? Geographical condition means what? What climate we are going to see there? The physical condition. Okay. In this sense, history and geography are inseparable. So, history and geography are correlated to each other. These two subjects are very close to each other. History is influenced by the geographical conditions in many ways. Now, here we can see geography, the study of physical features of the region. Okay. Geography is the study of places and the relationship between the people and their environment. Means geography is related to the environment, the climate of that particular place. Geographers explore both the physical properties of Earth's surface and the human society spread across it. Okay. Whereas history is the study of past. History is related to the past. History is an account of what happened in the past and how human beings changed. What we learn from history? What do we learn from the history? We learn that how people lived in the past. We come to know how the people in the past used to live. About society that existed, the different religions. Okay, the religions which was followed in the past, we are following the same religion. Changes in the lifestyle and culture over time. So there are many changes in the lifestyle and culture also. Here you can see geography. Now geography, what we can see in geography, we see about the environment. So Lonavala Mountains, many people visit this place. Why? Because the climate is very nice there. The environment is very cool. Whereas the Lohargarh Fort by Shivaji Maharaj. This fort is built by Shivaji Maharaj to protect from the enemies. So this has become the history. This comes in the history. Okay. Now our diet, clothing, housing, occupation. In fact, all human life in any region depends to a large extent on its geographical condition. Means whatever climate is there, whatever environment is there, we depend upon it and our needs also changes according to it. For example, the life of the people in hilly region is more strenuous than the people on the plains. Now we will see the example. Now see here, geography of mountainous terrain. So what is the climate? What is the climate there? It is harsh, snowfall, landslides are there. Whereas here you can see geography of plain fertile terrain. What is the climate? It is sunshine. So you can find out the difference. Here it is snowfall, here it is sunshine. Now what clothes they are wearing? Warm clothes needed. Okay, because there is a very coolness there. So people wear warm clothes. Now here there is a sunshine. So it is hot in this region. So what we are wearing there? Light cotton clothes. In summer season also we are wearing, no, it is very hot, so we wear cotton clothes. Okay, the same way. Now housing pattern. What is the housing pattern over here in mountainous region? Ground and G+1 houses. Transportation difficulty. Okay, due to hilly region, there is the difficulty of transportation. And here plain region, good quality houses. You can see the quality of houses is also good there, and transportation facility is very easy over there. Occupation. What is the occupation of this people? Mountainous region people. Tourism, shipyarding. Now what is this tourism? Many people go to visit these places because the climate is very cool there. Now occupation. What is the occupation here in plain region? Agriculture, trade, and commerce. Food. Food is also based upon the climatic condition. What food these people are eating? Meat based diet, dairy. Okay. And here food is vegetables, fruits, grains. Diet, clothing, housing, occupation, flora and fauna, rainfall, and opportunities available for human life in a region depends upon the geography. Okay, so everything is depend upon the geographical condition. What is the meaning of flora and fauna? Flora and fauna means it is plants and animals. Okay, in hilly region, people depend more upon hunting and gathering for their food. We also find other such differences in the lifestyle of people of the hilly region and those of plains. The climate, the rainfall, the agriculture produce flora and fauna of the region where we live are the sources of our livelihood. Okay, this is very important. The climatic condition, the rainfall, the agriculture, the flora and fauna, all these things are very important for us to survive. And we see all these things. The lifestyle and culture of region depends with their support. Human settlements have flourished wherever the means of living are plentiful. So, where the people are living, the people see all these benefits and people settle there. Okay. Over a period of time, these settlements develop further into villages and towns. But sometimes reasons like degradation of the environment, drought, invasion, etc. lead to the scarcity of those means. Now, in this image, you can see man-made impact. Man-made activities can impact geography of a region. So people are destroying their own environment. Okay, we are throwing all the plastic things into the water. So it is disturbing the uh, animal life in the water. See the houses, see the industrial water is going, industrial waste is going into the sea. So all this creates the problems to the species what is living in under the water. Here you can see the save the earth means we all are only creating difficulties to our life. Fertile lands. Here the land is so fertile, but due to man-made actions, it has become barren. What are the man-made actions? People are cutting the trees for their own benefits, for their own use. They are cutting the trees. Deforestation is done. So due to this, the global warming takes place. Here you can see the drought. Animals are dying due to lack of water. So all these things happen due to our own action. Man We people are only responsible for this. So we should not do all these things, but we should protect plants and animals and help them to live. Villages and towns became deserted. Why do villages and towns become deserted? Due to this only. Why? Because people are cutting down the trees. They are not making proper use of the environment. They are destroying the environment. We see many such instances in history. Thus, we see that there is a very close relation between history and geography. So, from this, we can understand that there is a very close relationship between history and geography. Now, here you can see this is the map of Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, you can see everywhere there is agriculture. Okay, everywhere there is agriculture. So what is the main occupation here? What is the main occupation in Maharashtra? So the main occupation is agriculture. And we all depend upon agriculture. Geographical features of India. Our country, India, extends far and wide, and its north lie in the Himalayas to the east, the Bay of Bengal. To the west, the Arabian Sea, and to the south, the Indian Ocean. So in the map also of India, you can see the Indian Ocean, the Bay of Bengal, the Arabian Sea. Okay, except for the island of Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep, the rest all countries is contiguous. We have to take into account this region, henceforth referred to as ancient India. When we study the ancient history of India before 1947, okay, before 1947, today's Pakistan and Bangladesh were also a part of India. Now we find this Pakistan and Bangladesh are different countries, but before 1947, before we got the independence, this country were under, means they were also a part of India. Now there are certain following points. Here you can see northern hemisphere. India falls in the northern hemisphere, southern part of Asia. This lines divide means it is the equator and the southern hemisphere. Okay. Now what comes in the north side? There are Himalayas. To the east, Bay of Bengal. Means there is a water. To the south is Indian Ocean. To the west, Arabian Sea. Means all these three things you can see, east, west, south, it is covered by water. Means three sides are all covered by water. Means water on three sides of land mass and land on one side is called peninsula. Okay, understood what is the meaning of peninsula? Water on the three sides means this. Three sides water is there. So it is called as peninsula. Water on the three sides of landmass and land on one side is called peninsula. Following regions are seen to be important when we look at the course of Indian history. Now, what are the points that we are going to see? That is the Himalayas, the plain of Sindhu, Ganga, Brahmaputra rivers, the Thar Desert, the Deccan Plateau, the coastal regions, the islands in the seas. We will see first one, that is the Himalayas. The Hindu Kush and Himalaya ranges have created an impenetrable wall on the northern side of Indian subcontinent. Okay, the Hindu Kush and the Himalaya ranges. This wall has separated the Indian subcontinent from the desert of Central Asia. Means this wall which was created, it has separated the Indian subcontinent from the desert of Central Asia. However, there is a land route through Khyber and Bolan passes in the Hindu Kush mountain. Here you can see the Khyber Pass. This route was connected to an ancient trade route. The route from China passed through Central Asia and reached Arabia. It is called as Silk Route. Keep this in mind. The trade route from China passed through Central Asia and reached Arabia is called as Silk Route or Silk Road. Because silk was the main commodity, it was the main occupation over there, exported to Western countries. Using this road, the route through the passes was used by many foreign invaders to enter ancient India. Many foreign travelers came to India by this route. Second point is the plains of Sindhu, Ganga, Brahmaputra. This region consists of basins of the three big rivers. Okay, now three big rivers are connected here. Sindhu, Ganga, Brahmaputra and their tributaries. This region extends from Sindhu, Punjab in the west to the present day Bangladesh in the east. It was in this region that the earliest Indian civilization of Harappa and the later states and empires of ancient India emerged. Okay, which civilization emerged there? Indian civilization of Harappa. The Thar Desert. The Thar Desert spreads across Rajasthan, Haryana, and some parts of Gujarat. So where is this Thar Desert? It spread across Rajasthan, Haryana, and some parts of Gujarat. A part of the desert lies in today's Pakistan. Now, this part, the little part of this is also in the Pakistan. The desert has the Satluj River to its north, the Aravalli mountain ranges to the east, and the run of Kutch to its south, and the Indus Sindhu River to its west. Okay, the Ghagar River that originates in the Himachal Pradesh reaches the Thar Desert. Which river reaches the Thar Desert? The Ghagar River. It is known as Hakra in Pakistan. Its course in Rajasthan and Pakistan has now dried up. Many sites of the Harappan civilization are situated along the now dry course of river. This is the Thar Desert. You can see it is in it spreads across the which parts? Rajasthan, Haryana, and Gujarat. Okay. Now, if you fill in the blanks of this, that we will solve them. See, what is the first question? Dash have flourished wherever the means of livelihood are plentiful. Yes, what is the answer for this? Anyone? What is the answer to this question? Dash have flourished wherever the means of living are plentiful. Yes, anyone, please try to give the answer.
People.
People. Okay, it is correct, but in your textbook, particular words are given for it. Can you tell me that? Dash have flourished wherever the means of living are plentiful. What? Come on, children. This is the revision for you. This chapter is already done. I am taking the revision. No one? Okay, so the answer for this question is human settlements. What is the answer? Human settlements have flourished wherever the means of living are plentiful. Second question, there is close relationship between dash and dash. What is the answer? There is a close relationship between dash and dash.
Living thing and non-living thing.
No, beta. There is close relationship between dash and dash. In starting only I have told there is a close relationship between dash and dash.
History and geography.
Very good. There is a close relationship between history and geography. Next, our country extends far and wide. Our country dash extends far and wide. Yes. Our country dash extends far and wide. Come on, give the answer. Which is our country?
India.
So the answer is India. Our country, India, extends far and wide. It is so simple. Next question. The trade route from China passed through Central Asia and reached Arabia is called dash. Yes.
Onward.
What?
Miss Skill Road आएगा.
Yes.
Skill Road.
It is not Skill Road. It is Silk Road. Silk. Okay, the trade route from China passed through Central Asia and reached Arabia is called Silk Road. Next question, the Ghaggar river that originates in Himachal Pradesh reaches the dash. The Ghaggar river that originates in Himachal Pradesh reaches the dash. Where this river reaches?
South.
No. Come on, give the answer. The Ghaggar river originates in Himachal Pradesh reaches the dash.
West. Thar Desert. West, teacher. Thar Desert.
Yes,
Thar Desert.
it's Thar Desert. The Ghaggar river that originates in Himachal Pradesh reaches the Thar Desert. And the last one, Many sites of the Dash civilization are situated along the now dry course of the river. Yes.
सेकंड क्वेश्चन फिर से बोलो.
Many sites of the Dash civilization are situated along the now dry course of the river.
हरप्पा सिविलाइजेशन.
Yes. Many sites of the Harappan civilization are situated along the now dry course of the river. We will see the fill in the blanks once again. The first one is Dash have flourished wherever the means of livelihood are plentiful. What is the answer? Human settlements. Human settlements have flourished wherever the means of living are plentiful. Second one, there is close relationship between Dash and Dash. The answer is history and geography. Our country Dash extends far and wide. Our country India extends far and wide. The trade route from China passed through Central Asia and reached Arabia is called Silk Road or Silk Route. The Ghagar River that originates in Himachal Pradesh reaches the Thar Desert. Many sites of the Harappan civilization are situated along the now dry course of the river. So that's all for today. The remaining part we will continue it tomorrow. Okay, you have to read chapter number 1. Tomorrow also I am going to take the revision. I will ask you a few questions on that. So please read the chapter number 1. Okay, so we will meet tomorrow again. I hope you have understood the lesson, everyone.